Double busy, getting busy, do. Yo, what's up, it's me, the double busy. Let's do the almost there achievement. Almos Arpad, age 46, king of the Magyar Confederation. When the 7 Hungarian tribes united to elect a supreme leader, their votes fell on brave Almos. One day, his son Arpad will pick up the mantle, but only if the Hungarians can keep their independence. Danger looms on the eastern horizon. Can you defend the Hungarians and lead them to greatness? This is your chance to retell the adventures of the Arpad dynasty. Obviously, we've enabled the Iron Man, significant for everybody, slower for culture and faith, and never for that. Let's name it Almost There and start Iron Man. First things first, let's check our lifestyle, and we're martial. And no, I'm going to cheese it until we get strategist, because the things in here like skirmisher damage and toughness, movement speed, siege weapon effectiveness, all these things are much more valuable for what we're going to be doing. Alright, it only took 3 tries to get the strategist tree. There's a lot of good stuff in there that's going to help us. You could go chivalry focus for the prowess and the advantage, but I would rather just get the full +3 martial here. You start the game with a lot of prestige. The first 2 things that you want to do are start the decision to prepare to cross the Carpathians. Competing tribes on the steppe, especially the marauding Pecheneg warbands that litter our territory, are making life increasingly difficult. Across the Carpathians, however, lie the fertile wooded valleys and rolling plains of weak Pannonia. You'll get this casus belli. Notice it says displacing AAR counties. So, wooded valleys, rolling plains, displacing AAR counties. You can read that if you want to. To Pannonia! Let's go over here and look at the terrain. So, there's Bulgaria, and that's all of his land is in white. But, click on the culture, AAR. That's the only area we're going to be able to take over. Once the whole war is done, and everything is converted, that's as much as you can possibly get. Looking at the terrain in that area, red is hills, green is forest, and tan is plains. So, hills and forests are just kind of average. Plains, we will have a definite bonus to our damage with all of our horse archers. We absolutely want to avoid the Grey Mountains because we're going to lose damage, and that's not going to be good for our horse archers. The other thing you want to do with some of this prestige is increase your tribal authority to level 2 limited, so that characters can be imprisoned. Then you're going to make a ton of money on the prisoners you capture from all the sieging, both raiding to get some money and the sieging when we get over there. Then last but not least, let's go in and create men-at-arms regiments. I actually want to do onagers because we're going to have plenty of troops, upwards of 6,000 troops. 3,000 of those are going to be very powerful horse archers. So I want to make sure that our sieges go quickly and that we are able to capture as many prisoners as possible. I'll fill that out to a complete 50 once we get some prestige from raiding. The more onagers that you have, the more you get of this. So right now it's going to be 4 units, times 4 is 1.6, but if we up it to a 5th unit, we'll get up to 2.0 per day. We are Grand Prince Almos Arpad of the Magyar Confederation, 47 years old and in fine health, dynasty or house Arpad. He is ambitious, gregarious, just, and calm, a brilliant strategist, an aggressive attacker, and a strategist. Good stats all over, but excellent in martial, especially with that lifestyle. Taptosist is our faith, and Magyar is our culture. With that faith, we are able to come over and divine the stars, which will give us a little bit of a temporary bonus. Our spouse is Grand Princess Mutlu of the Magyar Confederation. Right now she is calm, arrogant, and ambitious, as well as a thrifty clerk. These stats can change. Thankfully, we've got a little bit of intrigue with her, and that will help protect us if we don't have a lot. I am going to ask her to convert faith, and she is Pecheneg. We have a son, Arpad, 22 years old and fine health, ambitious, just, and diligent, a brilliant strategist, a rough terrain expert, and strong. Good stats all over, but especially in martial, Taltosis and Mogir. His wife is Hajnal, diligent, shy, brave, insightful thinker, and comely. No particular stats are special. They have children, so let's go ahead and pin them for education purposes down the road. And that's that for our family. Vassals, we have 2, and they both like us. Concubines. This lady would be medium, and this lady would also be medium. Let's go check our infertile females. She's listed, which I don't think she is. No. So I don't want any more sons messing things up, so I'm not going to get a concubine. It's only a 0.2 prestige hit per month. That's not very much to worry about. Our champions are okay, but we're going to need more of them. So what we're going to have to do is invite champions after we do a little bit of raiding. It's okay to have spent all of our prestige on our onagers, because that's going to take time to fill up. If we recruit champions later, we can just raise them here and have them travel over and meet us. This guy actually has a little bit of prowess, so we're going to invite him. This guy is a really good steward. Let's go ahead and invite him. This guy's particularly intelligent. He might end up making a good court physician. Before we invite any others, let's go ahead and take a look at who we can have for court physicians. Ote is the youngest lady here, and she has very high learning, so I'm going to appoint her as our court physician. In terms of commanders, 14 is not all that special, so I'm not going to bother inviting and paying this guy. For our council, our wife is going to do chivalry to help our reinforcement rate. This person is going to do religious relations for a little bit of piety and hopefully for increased vassal opinion. Collect a little bit of taxes to be able to pay the champions we're recruiting. Foreign affairs to get the prestige to recruit them. Training commanders to reduce their maintenance and to get more commanders and marshals and knights, champions, and then disrupting schemes to protect us. We reshuffled these people around to get the best numbers all across the board. For our issues, it says that we can raid, so obviously we're going to be doing that. It says that we need more champions, so I'm going to leave that in place. Declare wars. I know we can declare a lot of wars. And take concubine. We already looked at that. We don't want to have more children. Alright, we have 1,500 plus raiders, so we're going to go get some money and prestige while we wait for our onagers to fill up. Alright, with a full group of onagers and some light footmen in tow, completely full levies, and our champions maxed out, it's time to declare war. As we were traveling through the mountains on our way over here, looks like we caught King Boris with his pants down. Alright, after a rather brief war with a lot of sieging, Hungary is now ours. Now the Dior Kingdom is a little bit bigger, so we are missing some of the duchies up here to the north and west, and most notably is Nitra, or Nitra. It has some pretty good counties, which also has the city of Pexin. And then somewhere around here, there is a special building right here. So I believe there's also a mine somewhere close by. So that's a pretty good duchy. Transylvania is also a very good one. Now for this achievement, the last thing to do is to convert to a Catholic faith, or a Christian faith rather, excuse me. So we could literally just pick any Christian faith we wanted. And when we go up here, we can see there's a whole bunch to choose from. I would think that this character would either choose Orthodox because that's what's spreading this way, Catholic because that's what's going this way, and interestingly enough, in some of the Western territories over here, it is actually feudal already. So some of their Catholic lands are already feudal. Another third option would be the Christiani. And I kind of like that one because if you notice, Catholic is righteous, Orthodox is righteous, but Christiani is pluralist. Tautocist is also pluralist. So this idea that there's not necessarily just one interpretation of divine will might be something that they can see and find in common when they migrate over here. Also, the Christiani is the only ones that has holy sites over here in this area, so that might be something that they connect with. Finally, Catholic, monasticism, and communion is in common with the Orthodox, and Christiani also has monasticism. So if we were wanting to reform the Tautocist faith, we'd have to go for monasticism, I would say. That would really fit in with what's going on. But you can see the piety cost is already getting absolutely ridiculous, and there's no way we're going to have that anytime soon. Let alone, I don't know how you would get ecumenism in the main doctrines like these have. That's why the Catholics and the Orthodox and the Christiani can all kind of like tolerate each other as a stray, is because they have ecumenism. If you go in here to these ones down here, Nestorianism doesn't have it. Catharism and all the other ones down here, all the heresies, also do not have that. So they view each other as at least hostile, sometimes evil. So for the sake of the achievement, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to convert to this faith if I can. It's only going to cost me a total of 386 piety. Now my 2 vassals are not going to convert, but oddly enough, if I decide to keep playing this game, I can use that as an imprisonment now that I have the update. Alright, let's go ahead and try it and see what happens. And there it is. Almost there. The achievement unlocked. Alright, so that is it in terms of the achievement, and that's going to end the episode. But I want to keep playing as Hungary because I want to go for this promote Christian settlements. Alright, that's it for the achievement. Thanks for watching. This is probably the easiest one I have done so far, and in my mind it's going to be one of the easiest ones ever. You get a stack of 5,000 or 6,000 troops, you march them over here, you siege everything down nice and slowly. There's no supply penalties for those troops. You don't have any problems with attrition other than when you're sieging. And then when you're done, you still get about 1,500 of those troops get to stay with you. When the war ends, it automatically eliminates some of those, but you get to keep some of them. And as long as you are Almos, you'll be able to raise them. They don't disappear until succession. So obviously you could just go right on up here and start conquering these duchies that are part of the Hungarian kingdom. Thanks for joining me. Double busy, getting busy, do.